Alright, I'll count you in then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
For every...
Bluffy, can you drag them into... do you want to be in the same call as separate call, by the way?
Doesn't matter to
Do you
me.
remember how to jump?
I literally can't drag them.
Alert. Prison escape in
Can't,
progress.
Ooh, that's a high ledge.
It's like I'm commentating my own, or I'm the boys.
Bluffy, let us both
You
go
are
to
in a
general
restricted
chat, okay?
sector. This sector
If
is
you
on
duck
high
before you
alert.
That
jump,
way
you'll
there's
go
still...
higher.
It's fine.
You'll need a high jump to reach the top of this ledge, Jack. Dodge, Jack. Do your, stuff.
Alright. Right, now we can actually start commentating.
Yeah.
Surrender yourself. You are under arrest.
Yes, it should be fixed now. Could you move them?
Oh,
There are lots of Crimson Guard crates lying around for the taking. Break that crate.
Yep, technical difficulties, it's fine. We're back now.
okay.
We managed to go into different Discord calls. So, we're on to the run. Escape things. Split, I think taking it definitely. But gets a second try. Nothing too bad.
You can get a longer jump by rolling into it.
I believe Majora's PB is around a 120 and Split has something of like a 110 or 19.
You'll crash down to the ground hard enough to break lots of things.
Looks like Majora's first out of escape anyway.
Yeah, fine.
There is no escape.
Yeah, for future runs we should probably put that on there.
Thanks to me.
Fluffy.
Nice to breathe some fresh air.
What did you run those
We'll
PBs?
get that Baron Praxis guy all right.
That is a pretty common question.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
But I looked it up just for you. Majora has a 120.31 and Splitcase has a 117.54.
Should be a pretty even race though.
Yeah, I thought Split like 110. Yeah, it should be a even race then.
Split did have a bit of trouble with escape though, so it's going to be an early lead for Majora. But
Yeah,
that could
There is a
all
pretty
change
decent lead
very
already.
quickly. So.
yeah, this is
City
Jack
map
2.
is displayed in the lower right.
And as long as your name is not like Ouija
Follow
like
the
it's on
icons
last
on the
round,
map to reach important destinations.
everyone's human, you are prone to mistakes.
City transportation system.
And this game is very punishing when it comes to
Two
mistakes.
zones. Low and high. Try switching
Oh,
over
I-
zones.
I think this is the first time someone's doing it in Italian. You've got a lot of English and a lot of Japanese so far.
Switching hover zones to help avoid traffic. or
Also,
prevent
that means that
accidents.
Majora doesn't have voices in Zero because you could hear the practice being made. A little
Actually,
bit of time.
I'm using Split's audio at the moment. I should change that over.
Yeah. Whatever. That's fine. We're all new to this. I just manually put it on the person who's a little bit ahead. Split, struggling a bit to find the zoom. Alright, gets one. Meanwhile, Majora is coming up on Mars Doom Skip. Let's see how he goes for it. Does he go for the boosted? No. Alright. Yeah, she gets in there. No issues.
It looks like Split's not far behind, so, you know.
Yeah, Split not too far behind. Split was saying in the call earlier that he does not go for Dexter Chase Skip. I wonder if Majora goes for it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, because it is a very big risk to take.
Yeah, and a lot of runners, like myself included, have failed it many a time in races like this.
I could see that working out very well for Split if Majora goes for it. Just
Yeah.
because it seems to be the most
But
difficult point of the run.
Just imagine if you're Majora, if you get a first try though.
Oh yeah, then you have a
Yikes.
big lead.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, definitely.
It looks like
Majora's
Majora
going
will
for
go
it.
for it. Yep.
Oh, barely misses
Oh,
it.
he misses it.
Yeah, I like the lineup. He was just a little bit too far to the right.
Yeah. That will put Split in the lead though, assuming he gets
Yep.
the roll jump here.
Yeah, they're still very close, but Split a little bit ahead now. Goes for the roll jump instead. So for those who may not know this, what you see on split screen is the older way of doing this, where you just roll jump your way to the boulder here, and you start the dax chase. What Majora is doing, and what I would say the most runners do nowadays, is dax chase skip, which is a pretty convoluted sequence of events you have to do, which allows you to skip the mission that Split's doing now, where you are being chased by a boulder and then a spider. And you do
Okay.
it by obtaining like a state we call Invil 2. And
Oh
ooh,
no!
Majora clips back in
I think
bounds.
he could just dive under the wall there. Yeah.
Yes, you can back this up. You need to know where you can dive though. But basically, this dive into the Dark Eco, it's fairly precise. If you take splat damage from this, you can get a state we call Invil 2, and that allows you to basically become invincible. And you use that to not be able to be hurt by the boulder. Yeah, I see Majora going for it again. Oh, just falls down. Yeah, wait, he still
Oh, he's
took
okay. He's okay.
damage. That was pretty lucky. I'm not going to lie. Okay, he can still go for it now. He's Invil 2, which allows you to go past the boulder. Normally this would kill you. And if you jump at this spot, Dax gets kind of stuck, and the game gets confused, and you turn into Jack. I don't really know how that works, and I doubt people really do know how it works. But that turns you into Jack, and you can just do things as Jack, like hovering and stuff.
Unfortunately,
backing
backing it up did take a little bit of time, but Majora's going to be pretty close after getting it second try.
Oh,
Oh,
I think
too soon.
Majora bonked on the ramp itself. That happened to me earlier today in practice. The same thing, where walls in this game are usually not solid from the outside. They're only solid on the inside because you're not going to be outside of the walls a lot of the time. So you can clip into things really easily. However, solid objects still exist, and one of the solid objects there is the ramp. So he just kind of hit the ramp from the outside and just got pushed away and took a death.
Yeah, when you're on the jetboard, it's a whole lot worse as well. The game will try and think you've wall kicked and things like that, and just completely ruin your time.
Yeah. Yeah, Robin going for this pretty easy hover here. You just kind of line up yourself with the lamp or the statue. There's different ways. Ooh, Majora taking a death on the spider there, but it's after the checkpoint.
Whoa,
Takes
that was weird.
Weird death there. What was that? Yeah, Split now with a pretty nice lead. Yeah, Tombstone goes. Yeah, got the wrong pattern there. So the Tombstone, you can get 6 unique patterns. Most runs use a sheet that basically tells you what pattern you're on after you listen to the one in the bottom left corner there. So after hitting that one, you already know which pattern you're on, basically. There's 2 patterns which are a bit weirder, but using that sheet, most runners can do this pretty easily. But I think Split just kind of messed up which pattern he actually ended up getting. Because some of them do sound very similar. Oh, yeah, I get some weird angle for the hover there. Yeah, stacks it up with this. Very clean. Meanwhile, Majora going for a more difficult strat here. And actually gets it. Yeah, I feel like Majora is actually playing pretty well.
Yeah, he just
Like,
was a bit unlucky with Dexter Chase skip there, to be honest.
yeah. In general, it's going for the more difficult strats and getting them for the most part.
Alright, so now we'll see Split on Praxis. The main goal here is to try and hit Praxis with more bombs than you need to, so that the next phase is easier.
Yeah, big thing in this is that as soon as you hit practice with 4 bombs, all the other bombs start exploding, so you're on a very short timer.
So you may have noticed that Split got 5 hits in there, which means only 3 will be needed for this phase, but then again, Split will want to go for 4, so the last phase requires less.
Yeah. And especially this second time, it matters a bit more, because it makes the last phase significantly shorter. Yeah, they're actually both on practice now, so this is still very close. We've had many races with much bigger differences after just last 2.
Unfortunately, this is the last hit, but
Yeah.
that's alright.
Get it. Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
I
Split's
think, yeah, Split wanted to hit the bomb like just after the practice of shooting, but didn't take into account that practice would actually hit Jack because of that.
yeah, this is actually getting a bit scary for Split as well,
Yeah,
because he's only
it's
one more
scary.
hit.
He was on 1 HP. Like, if the bomb lands on you, you actually take damage, by the way. Not everyone's aware of. That's like one way you can take damage at this point. But it looks like Split's able to finish it off, right? Yeah, for a race, that's really not too bad for Split. And meanwhile, Majora does get the extra hit in the second phase, so the end of the fight will be a bit quicker. Ooh, Split going a bit far to the right, but the elevator's already open. Sometimes, if you're not dead center, that hover can be a bit of an issue if you're not dead on.
Decontamination.
Because the elevator like kind of slowly goes open.
Well, Majora's just
Majora.
finishing up the practice as well, so they're pretty close again.
Yeah, Majora had a really good practice. Ooh, Split going for... not going for this hover. I thought he was for a second. Yeah, unfortunately hits the Hellcat. So now some scuff could be on its way. Doesn't really get many guards in this mob or anything, because they can really bully you.
Majora had something very unusual happen there, I'm not really sure.
What happened? How was he not? How was he still on Doom?
He's stuck getting out of the elevator room.
Oh, yeah, I guess he just didn't deload it, so like the game didn't want to load the city because he didn't deload the rest of Doom yet. I know this can happen if you can get kind of stuck in the door sometimes.
Yeah, he did. He got stuck inside the door.
Ah, I see. That makes sense. Losing a bit of time here. Nope. Run to rescue friends. Oh, wait, Majora tried to go for the death wall here, but ended up back in the bazaar, so not getting the death wall. Gonna take a little more time.
Oh, Split's going for the old hover where he bounces off the wall. I love that strat.
Yeah, I love that strat. It looks really cool. Just hover into the wall there, and it bounces you with a perfect angle to go towards the end here. It's also not really easier or anything. It's still like fairly specific. You do have to hit the wall at a specific spot, otherwise it doesn't work, because the wall is not really a flat surface.
Majora's going for a different hover? I don't think I've seen that one before.
Yeah, me neither. There's unlisted strands all over the place. Oh, speaking of unlisted strands, Split goes for some kind of movement to sewers where you go on top here, all the way. I've never seen this either. I guess that's to make this hover easier.
Yeah, it seems
That's
like...
that's kind of big brain.
It seems like a safety strat, yeah.
Oh, I like it. Because that hover is one that many people struggle with, because you need to go pretty fast if you want to make it over. But if you're just on the high ground the whole time, I guess you don't have to hover as quick, right? So you need more leeway.
Majora's going for the newer Fortress hover and seems to be getting it. Yep.
Yeah, it's really been a theme for Split. Split mostly go for old strats, more so than any other runner.
Yeah, it's quite refreshing to see all these old school like strats, to be honest.
Yeah, it's cool.
Just shut your wine traps. Yeah. We go down.
Do we have to?
There you are. Why don't you make yourself...
So the main thing with the Swords mission is going to be saving up as much yellow ammo as possible for the next mission. So you'll see Split and later Majora mainly trying to use the red gun and the blue gun for this mission.
Well, again, Split going for all the strats where you just kind of punch them and like press R1 with the red gun. But most people would nowadays go for the strat where you stand basically near two of the spawn spots and just spam the yellow gun, despite the fact that you kind of need it later on. Because it is quicker, it's a bit more risky, because you end up with lower ammo. Split opting for all the strats.
Oh, I'm not sure if he managed to kill those in time though. No, he didn't, so he's gonna have to go
Yeah, doesn't get it.
Yeah,
If
he
you're
had
too
to
slow
go.
with killing these two enemies, you have to kill 2 extra enemies in the back here,
Shut up,
which
Mark.
makes your 3 friends here stand around for a little bit, and it loses like 6 seconds or something, I believe.
Split's very good for ammo now though, because of opting for the older strat in the first round.
Yeah, 180, that's great. I wish I had that.
Actually, looks like Majora's opting for the same strat.
Nice fighting, man.
No, most people just do that for the first room. I do as well. Because you're not really bound for time on that, so you might as well save the yellow ammo. Split going really far forward there with the first couple of laser beams. But doesn't get the fill mission. It's very easy for the mission to just fail there if you're a little bit too far away from Jinx, Mark, and Grim. Yes, I finally remember their names. God.
Well, everyone knows Jinx because he's on Jack 3, but
Yeah.
the other two, I still don't remember the name.
Coming at me.
Yeah, it's Mog and Grim. Like, I've commented enough races to finally know. This chat hammered it into me.
Split's going to try and use blue gun for this. You want to hit every enemy with like 3 shots so that you don't waste any ammo. It only takes 3 to kill them.
Yeah. I think there's a surprising amount of skill to this, but it's also kind of an RNG fest. It's surprisingly difficult to just use exactly 3 ammo all the time. But then there's also just variation in how many enemies you get, like in and of itself. Honestly, Splitting can really save, considering he has so much yellow ammo.
Yeah, he
still
doesn't
opts
need
to-
200.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Split just really wants to take it safe.
You're earning your dough today. Let's finish this.
Meanwhile, Majora doing some ballerina footwork. How much health was Majora on? Okay, still 3. 2.
Even though this movement's going awkwardly, I don't think it really matters too much because most of the time it's going to be spent waiting for there's one of the... I still don't know which one's which, but one of them's very slow and takes a long time to catch up anyway.
Yeah, that's Mog. It's the big guy, he's always the slowest. The Crimson Guard looking guy, that's Grim.
I'll try and remember that.
Yeah, do you ever see them again? I feel like there's one more mission where you see them. I can't really recall though.
I think there might be not in the route one. Not really certain
Yeah,
about that.
I think before Master Doom there is a mission with him. I could be wrong. I feel like I see them sometimes. Oh, hold on. Split going for this hover. Oh, this is a really old strat, but nobody goes for it because it's hard.
We nailed it though.
But yeah, Split nails it. If you get that specific hover, you can bounce so you get out of bounds and die there. And that puts you at the checkpoint inside of the underground, and that's where the cutscene trigger is. I think it only saves like 2 seconds, and it's kind of hard, so nobody really does it. Like, the only one who's done it so far is Ouija, who did the last race. So that tells you enough that this is not really a strat most people like to do. But Split, to his credit, gets it. Ah, I see. I kind of understand why Split wants so much yellow ammo now. He goes for a very safe but pretty quick strat, where you just kind of loop around and just keep hitting one leg. That means you get a bit less damage from the kicks, but the way he times his R1 is so that like all 5 of them can go in always. Can you like tell what I'm talking about? Like most people go more towards the center, so it's easier to get more spin damage, but Split probably has like a much larger percentage of like yellow gun damage.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, most runners are usually nowadays going for a trick where you, every time you shoot during the spin animation, it does an extra kick's worth of damage, but
yeah,
Split just doing it a little bit differently.
Yeah, typically the kicks are really what do most of the damage, not actually the gun. So in Split's case, there's more gun damage than usual. Still though, he's still like way overkill ammo. Like he had like 100 at the end, which is kind of crazy.
We'll all sleep a little easier tonight.
I wonder if we'll end up using that so he gets like 10 Peacemaker ammo later on.
Yeah, that'll be interesting actually. Having a high ammo going into Protect Samus will make getting Peacemaker a lot easier.
Yeah. Usually you can get 10 Peacemaker ammo anyway, like if you played well, but it's kind of hard to. Because you need to be, like, you need to be fast while still picking up all the ammo, pretty much. And that's going to be a lot easier for Split to do. Unfortunately, there's no real spot in the game where you can get ammo between crew and core. Otherwise, people would love to pick up some extra Peacemaker ammo there.
Yeah, not really, other than during the crew fight itself.
I see kind of the reverse spectrum here, where Majora kind of waits for the moment to explode to pick up some extra yellow ammo. So I imagine Majora's on low ammo here. Ooh.
Split's
Yeah.
getting bullied a little bit by the other racers, but...
He wanted to skip over there, but the other racers kind of bullied him.
Oh, he's gonna go for the skip.
Yeah, he's been talking about like practicing it for an hour straight.
He got it.
And yeah, he was kind of spooked about them because he still couldn't really consistently get them. But he's actually going for them and gets the first one. These have been a crucial factor in many of the races so far. Because yes, while these are fairly easy, it's still very daunting to do 5 of these in a row. And if you just mess up any of them, you usually just die and lose in 2 minutes. Especially if you're like on lap 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think personally I would only go for it 4 times and not 5, because the last one doesn't actually save as much. Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Okay. God. Okay, that's kind of lucky. Split.
Hopefully Split decides not to go for the race since his car's already a bit beat up now.
Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to play it safe for the rest, which is the right choice in my opinion.
In my own race against Recon earlier, like Recon exploded, and because of that, I was chickened out of doing the rest. Stuff like that can definitely like impact you. Like just if one goes slightly wrong, you're already like, should I go for another one? Like the video, like it's kind of smoky now. If I take one big hit, I'll just explode. My top speed's a little bit messed up. Can I really do this? Just start second guessing yourself.
Achieve the gold record.
We'll see if Majora decides to go for them as well.
Yeah.
No, it looks like Majora's just not going to go for it, at least not on lap 1. Lap 1's kind of scary as well, though, because the other racers will try and bump into you.
Yeah, the gap now about 2 minutes between them. Split heading towards the Peacemaker.
That was an interesting hover that worked out quite well.
Speaking of ult strats, I think Split still goes for the ult death warp here instead of the Zuma hold.
I've always been a fan of just driving around the corner and restarting. Oh, looks like he's going for
Actually,
the
no. Yeah, Split must have just learned this strat because in the last race he went for the death warp. So yeah, for the reset warp, where you just drive ahead. So, learning new strats, I see.
That was actually a gold for Split, because he's running with his PV
You
split.
could even say it was a gold split. Hey. Get it? Because it's split case one. I'm trying to save it. Going for the Peacemaker, but that's a bit far to the right. There's a pretty big building next to it where you often bonk against, which meant that Split had to hover really high. This should be fine. I think he's just landing outside. Yeah, he is. He's just taking it safe. This way you can't really fail it. As long as you can get the hover. Yeah, Split, really concerned with ammo. That's old strats. Because...
Yeah, I'm not sure
until-
what he's going to use it all on.
yeah, up until a couple of years ago, we actually used ammo in Defense Inlays, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We didn't really use the farm ammo, we just kind of used it there.
I wonder if that's what he's planning to do.
There's also the fact that you have to do crew just normally, right? It's like in the old route. You have to do 3 phases of crew instead of 2. And you usually end up with a shortage of red ammo by the end of it. But even that, it's not really necessary to get extra ammo because you can just farm the crates in crew fight itself, right?
Yeah,
Those
well,
are pretty quick. Those are quick to get.
the thing about doing Protect Savers with ammo is that it's on a timer anyway, so killing the guards faster doesn't actually really help that much.
Yeah, as long as you just kill them quickly enough, you're not really gonna lose time. Yeah, I guess that's something we can ask Split. He's kind of been doing this for most races, although I don't think he picked up that many crates like after Peacemaker before. Majora getting the most of the hover into Death Warp there. Both of these runners are going for pretty different strats all over the place.
Let's see how the Peacemaker hover goes for Majora as well.
Yeah, I think.
Looks like he's going to land inside.
Yep. Goes to the spec. Yeah, he's. Oh, he actually makes it. I thought I would make it. You need to select pass a bit low, and Majora also taking a page out of the province book.
Oh,
Picks
forgot
up
to
all
pick
the
up
ammo.
the Peacemaker.
Forgot to pick up what he's there for, the Peacemaker. Why is chat just Wotan spamming professional shit? Right, meanwhile, Split finishing up L race to 2 or 3. Which is fine. Majora, I think he messed up the movement towards crew, because I think I see him here just now already.
Yeah, I think he went for a death walk but it didn't work out or something. Or hovering into the hit box.
Yeah, that puts Split still about 2.5 minutes ahead. I think Majora caught up a little bit, but lost a little bit of time he gained. That death just now.
This is Samos. Jack, I need you to go out to the ruins in Dead Town and visit my old hut.
Both of these runners playing with voices on, which I like. Like, I just like hearing the voices. It's kind of unfortunate that in order to go fast, you have to turn them off. It's not a big deal though. It's probably only like the biggest one is the communicator after Destroy Tower, which takes like 5 seconds. But there's also a couple small ones. I've been told that there's a dialogue that's easier, that like doesn't happen in Japanese a lot of the time. There's also at the end of Metalhead Mash, Tess usually says a voice line which can take a couple seconds, especially in English. The one in English is like really long. Ooh, Split doing this with the boosted, I love it.
That is ancient and very swag, I approve.
Yeah. Oh, this is that whole
This is
movement that
cool.
we used to do. I used to do this, god.
Oh, unfortunately this is the side flip, so I think he will just skip going for the ghost town now. Yeah.
That's the oldest setup for the ghost town. Which was a lot harder, to be honest.
Re-entering city.
Yeah, Robin messing up the death flop here. Or did he intend to go here? There's a death flop you can do on the left there.
Looked like he trick cancelled.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't go for that death flop there. He does go for this one though.
It looked like he tried to hover and it dropped, but...
Yeah, I think he was something to the right though. Like over that building.
Oh, possibly.
Oh yeah, that building in the middle there, that's completely solid, so you need to actually go over it if you get a weird angle like that. The building likes to get in the way a lot. It may sound really obvious when I say that building's solid, but I guess it's not. A lot of the buildings, especially near the upper parts in this game, just aren't solid. You can just go right through them. And that's because you're not really supposed to be able to go through them like that high anyway.
Yeah, and I think if you get a zoomer in here, you can actually just drive straight through all the buildings in the high hover zone as well.
And like these ones, the one that like Split is at, those ones specifically have a really high wall around them. Like much higher than they're actually physically tall.
It's very strange.
But then there's also like some pillars, like near the stadium section, you can just drive straight through as well. There's some places in the game where collision is a bit wonky.
Yeah, I think they made separate collision for Zoomers and Jack. It's like simplified when you're on a zoomer or something. And there's some issues with that leave gaps in the walls and things.
Yep. Another one that a lot of people fall for is in the stadium section, like near where the last lurker is, if you know that spot. There's a section in the wall where people often just drive straight against an invisible wall. You might see it later in the run. Just every now and then someone falls for it.
Yeah.
Oh, Split taking a death somewhere. Was that intentional? I think he just missed the load here. Oh, it doesn't get a ghost now. Meanwhile, Split's heading on towards Protect Samus.
I'm very interested to see what Split's planning for him, because he does have a lot of ammo, so I am wondering if he's planning to use that.
I saw a video like last week of a new optimized strat for Protect Samus, where basically you just hover to some place out of bounds, and I think it makes the like guards like partially deload or something, like they're not aggressive towards Samus, so you just gotta stand there. And then you can just like shoot it in a precise angle and it just always kills them.
Yeah, Ouija has been working on something like that for a long time, but it's quite difficult, and it prevents you from grinding ammo, so...
Yeah.
I think what will end up becoming the, like, best strategy eventually will be to grind ammo until you're full, and then do that for the last part of it, perhaps.
And then go that for the 2 spot.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Oh, Split's having some trouble with these flying guards. They can be, very hard to dodge.
Yeah. I used to have a lot of trouble with this mission when I started running Jak 2. It can be very rough to even survive this mission.
Yeah, it's quite brutal.
Looks like Split's just farming ammo. Split was also pretty high. Oh, sorry. Majora was also really high. I wonder if he's anything planned here as well.
Split's getting a lot of peacemaking up, so it should be... Yeah, in fact, he's actually got so much ammo that they're not even dropping ammo anymore, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I think for Split, it's the same thing. I think I said this last person as well. He's just going for it for safety.
Yeah, definitely. Majora just got that harbor and the way to Mountain Temple. So he'll be on his way to protect Samus now as well.
I think both of them can still very much PB, by the way. Like, they're both, like, a bit behind. I don't know how far behind Majora is, but Split is about, like, 20 seconds behind.
Interestingly, Split's going for the restart warp after Protect Samus instead of before, which... It's not really very common now.
Yeah. Most people go for the strat you see on Majora's screen right now, where you do a restart warp. This is very recent, by the way. This was only found, like, a week ago. Where you restart there, and turn the camera to right, and that puts you there. That's quicker, but it also means that you have to move back towards the moving platform on the way back. Whereas in Split's case, he took the platform on the way going in, and so he can go do the restart warp afterwards. Those two used to be pretty much equal, but with the new strat, where you just move the camera to the right, it saves around like 5-6 seconds. The way the way Majora's doing it.
Yeah, it's not massive, but it's a very easy, like, catch-up for him, I suppose. There's not much that could go wrong doing that, and it's free time save.
Yeah, to be exact, Majora has a 120.31 and Split has a 117.54.
Yes, thank you for that.
Alright. Yeah, I think Split's might be ahead of PB. I think he just missed this split. We'll see. It might be that Split just does this split while talking to Finn or something.
Yeah, I think they're both on pace to PB this race, which would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I think they're both a little bit behind, but they definitely still can. They're not like far from it. Which makes sense, like none of them have really made super big mistakes. Considering the level. Oh! Well, speaking of which...
Oh, no.
That's a big mistake. Majora's taking a death to protect Samus. Yeah, like I said, this mission can be very rough.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
It's really the first big thing so far. So I think he was also a good means into the mission. Yep.
This time around, Majora probably should be able to use ammo at least, which will make it a lot easier. Since he'll already have plenty from the last run round.
Yeah, if you can just spray those flying guys immediately, you usually don't end up taking damage.
That is super unfortunate though, I think he was right at the end of the mission too.
Yeah.
Gotta ride the checkboard on this one, Jack.
Yeah, Split not immediately getting the hover here, which is a bit scary because if you do the casual way, you can sometimes actually die during the cutscene if you're not careful. But yeah, Split actually now, for the first time, ahead of his PB by like 16 seconds.
So destroy tower. This mission's quite scary because a mistake in this mission, while it might not cost a lot of time in here, it's a death on the escape part will mean having to drive all the way back to Bruno again.
The drive of shame.
Yes, the drive of shame.
Yeah. I notice that you just said after in the escape part. We actually saw this in a race earlier where Lord died during the robot section, like in this part. He just fell down, like near the busman. But he restarted mission, and that actually allows you to still keep the lurker mission active.
Yes.
Which is a nice little section. Let's hope that doesn't happen. As Majora12 finishing up projectile successfully out.
So, a little fun bit of information. You can actually skip this whole section with the mech, but it's actually slower.
Oh, you can? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is a way that OEG found to go around this whole section out of bounds and land on the roof, but it actually works out slower than just doing it normally.
Like, doing it in the mission, like I know you can go there early, but just nothing loads in. So I assume that's in this mission, right?
Yeah, in this mission, yep.
Huh.
You could go further around the wall and jump onto the roof.
Cool.
It's extremely difficult and it's also slower. Split's health is getting a little bit scary, but it should be alright. I don't think the metalheads do too much damage.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oh, he's actually gonna jump out and kill the metalheads. That's probably a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that decision.
I don't think I would have, to be honest.
I think the theme that we're seeing from Split is just going for safety in all parts of the run.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Split seems to really care about like safety, making sure you don't make any big mistakes. And hey, to his credit, it's been working out in this race because doing stuff like that is like definitely contributing to the fact that Split did not die on defense, the same as Majora did take a death there. Now, here's the escape part, which is scary. Like, you see Split being especially careful here, just waiting out the cycle on the fire there.
Yeah,
There are so many ways you can just fall off something here.
it's very tough jet bombardment. Well, it looks like he's opting to do a lot of it on foot.
Yes. This is the movement if you're scared, and you should be.
Oh, but he goes for a boosted.
Okay, never mind. I guess he's not really scared. What is this? Alright, Split.
Hey, whatever works. He didn't die.
Jack one runner, right? Because in Jack 1, doing boosters like that is a lot more common than in the other two games.
This is the part where not having speech volume saves a nice bit of time, but
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
too
you would
big of a
skip
deal.
this little talk with Cole.
Oh,
But still, Split's 50 seconds ahead of PB right now. On pretty good pace.
Majora's just going into dual platform now.
I wonder how much time save Split has in the rest of his run. Since we haven't actually had too many PBs during races so far. I think there's been like only like 2 so far. Well, I say only, but people do practice a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, if the rest of the run goes smoothly, we could be seeing a PB for Split. Interestingly, Majora's going with a slightly different way of doing this. Taking the mech part way and then getting out again.
Yeah.
It's a little easier.
Yeah, I guess he just might not be comfortable with the shot for the second level.
Yeah, it is quite hard to line up. Even using the lever to line it up, it's still pretty tough.
It's kind of reassuring that everyone has their like little quirk that they're just bad at. Because oftentimes I just can't get a certain strat. It's like, oh, this is easy, this is free. It's always nice to see that. You know, you're not alone in the struggle.
Oh, Majora interestingly doing the same thing of getting out with the mech and
Yeah. I think these are like the only two who do this. Interesting. I guess he just really hates the metalheads there, which, to be fair, I agree with. Screw them.
Yeah, they can make it very painful. The mech likes to just try and lock onto them and spin around in circles when you're going for the computers
Yeah.
as well.
You can kind of manipulate them. But there is a way to get like get it really
Oh.
quickly here, but it's hard. Oh, gets the 3 hit there.
Yeah.
That's nice. Alright, Split
Oh,
coming
Split.
on. Oh,
Oh,
that
Zilla.
was very scary.
Yeah,
That
now
look
his
could have fallen into the water.
Zuma's probably one shot from dying, and
I imagine he'll just drive to the end and take a new one, right?
yeah.
You can dodge this turret, right? Yeah. Right, should be fine.
Oh, but the last
Yeah, I
look
would-
is in a sketchy spot now as well.
Oh yeah, this is scary.
Okay, it's driving into a safe place, so we should be okay here.
Oh, it's driving back in. I've never seen this. Did it just go in a circle?
I think so. Oh god.
Yeah, I guess this is what happens if you take a little bit of time with lurkers.
Hey, he actually de-aggroed the Crimson Guard somehow, so that's handy,
Yeah,
I suppose.
the lurker actually just went the full circle. Go back to this one, and it goes back in.
Okay, yep,
So
that worked.
Yeah, it was kind of sketchy, but it worked. Yeah, you can just go now. It's fine. Yeah. That lurker's going to walk in on its own after a few seconds.
Also, I didn't see how the escape went from Majora, but I think it went fine.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep. Looks like it went
Yep.
well. Alright, coming on to Class 2. Looks like Split did have a lot more time save here, because he's now like 2 minutes ahead. I imagine he had to drive the shame in his PB or something.
Yeah, I suppose it probably did. That is about a minute. So, Class 1 race. There is a skip in this one. I'm not sure if Split will bother to go for it. It
Yeah.
doesn't save nearly as much time as the Class 2 one.
Yeah, considering Split was kind of spooked going for Class 2 races and these don't really save much, I would imagine Split doesn't go for these. Especially since they're very hard to actually make them work.
Okay, no, I stand corrected, he's going for it.
But, once again, stand corrected, he does go for them. Looks like Split is subscribing to my philosophy of they're free, GM.
They are pretty easy,
By
but...
the way, they are free. I will keep saying this. But the difficulty is to actually save time.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, if you don't do them fast, it's the same as just driving around anyway for extra risk.
What you want is... Oh, does that work? Yeah. You want to, well, not gain too much height. And you want to land close to these 3 boosts here. So, ideally you land there, you boost into 1 or 2 of those boosts, and then you're chilling. Because then you can save up to like... I think you can save up to like 15 seconds or something. Also, is Majora's stream kind of dying, or is that on my end?
It's dying for me, I'll try restarting it.
Oh my...
Oh no.
Split taking a nosedive into the floor there.
Yeah, that is the risk of the Class 1 skill.
Yeah, he's like 1 hit away from death. The vehicle's both on fire and sparking, which is how you know it's on the lowest possible health. So like, any scratch right now and Split's going to blow up. I'll lose 2 minutes. He's definitely not going to go for lap skips now. I'll have to take this last lap safely.
I think Majora's stream has gone down, unfortunately, but I'll try and get it back on the stream as soon as possible.
Yeah, Majora had a little bit of issues previous race as well. Hopefully he comes back. Split, it's looking good. Yeah, just take this, don't even boost, I agree. Yeah, alright. Finishing up. And actually managed to save half a minute. So, more time saved for Split. I won't lie, I can't help but find it funny that Majora's stream just does the complete PowerPoint presentation.
Alright, it looks like we'll put it back now.
Oh god. Yeah, the gods here are kind of mean. They tend to just kind of suicide onto you. It's pretty crazy.
Okay, so despite the stream issues, the lookers actually did go well for Majora, which is good.
Split's having some trouble getting out of the river here. But at least the guards aren't angry anymore.
Yeah, the guards can be a real issue there. I think it's a higher level of
Yeah, alertness, I guess.
alertness, yeah, than
yeah,
you could even get outside of that mission. So
I'm not sure if this is high enough, Split. We'll see. You need to be like pretty high up in the air for this reset up to work.
he's got it, apparently.
And he gets it. All right.
It's very close though.
Yeah, it was close. But yeah, basically there's 2 levels of like... It's kind of like the stars in GTA games, if you've seen those. Where... Okay, yeah, Split just taking a couple seconds before putting up the pass meter. Where there's like the first level, but the only guards run after you, and they just zap you with that electrical staff thing, whatever it is. And then there's the second level, where all the guard zoomers, the Hellcats, start shooting at you. All the guards actually take out their guns and shoot you from a distance. And that's the one that's spooky.
Yeah, it's not really confirmed, but we suspect there might be a 3rd level after that mission as well, because there are just so many Hellcat spawns and they all just try and crash into you.
Yeah. What I think it is, I'm not sure if this is the truth, but there are a couple of missions where the game just puts a bunch of Hellcats and guard zoomers in specific spots. This also happens on Deliver Eco to Crew, for example. There's just a couple spots where there's a lot of Hellcats and stuff, and it's the same on that mission. There's a couple spots where there's always a couple of Hellcats and guard zoomers.
So Majora's actually opting not to go for the race skips, which is probably good.
Yep. Oh, Split. The door closed on him. This works, right? I think it does. Never seen this. Can you still restart warp here, even if you get
Yes, apparently so.
outside the door? Right. The more you know.
You were right, Jack. What
Yeah,
And
that skip's very strange. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, so...
We can stop him. I'll
yeah.
meet you there.
I think Split's like 4 minutes at a PB now. He skipped the Split, but... apparently, Split definitely had a pretty rough, like, mid-late game in his PB, but he's making it up all now. Yeah, this is like sub 110 pace still, which is kind of crazy considering his PB is 117.54. Although, hold on, I'm gonna double check that because I could have sworn that his PB was like a 110 or something. Maybe he's just running against all the splits. Let me double check on the speedrun.com page what splits PB is.
You need special
No, it is a
platforms for the storm.
117. I must be confusing it with someone else. At least
So
that
this is
was-
probably the biggest hover in the game. It skips like... what, like 4 minutes of platforming and...
yeah, that
fighting
mission is
guards.
very rough, casually. Luckily, even in hoverless, there are like some skips you can do here and there. So you don't do all the mission, but casually it's a very rough mission. Probably the hardest mission in the game, I would say. Because for some reason the guards here can actually aim. That's really the biggest deal.
Yeah.
Whereas the most of the game they kind of just stop moving.
Right, so Split's now going for robot skip. Hopefully that works out.
Yep.
It seemed like everything was right.
Yeah, this looks okay to me. You need to get up there near the guards, and then oh yeah, you take a death here by hovering up. And there you go. He's like over 4 minutes ahead of the beginning. It's a really good pace Split.
Now it's time for crew. So the main thing on this fight is that the runners will try to charge up 5 Peacemaker shots at once on the last phase. Oh, sorry, on the second phase, and skip the last phase completely. By doing as much damage to crew as possible on one hit. It is a big point of variance in a lot of the races, so...
Now I have you.
Split's still kind of farming ammo, even on crew. Really like his ammo. Goes for the spin shot here, which kind of wastes ammo to be honest. Because Screw has all of invincibility frames after you hit once.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's going for so much ammo. Suppose he might be worried about core ammo, but...
I guess we can ask him after the race. I'm curious as well. Because he's definitely not needed all the ammo he's been getting throughout the game.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage to these
Yeah.
baby
This is
cores.
the kind of scary range. You don't want to be on 2 health here.
Now I have you.
Second phase. Let's see if he goes to the third phase full skip.
Yep, he's backing off.
Yep. By doing a specific sequence of inputs, you can basically get 5 shots of the Peacemaker stacked on top of one another, not like this.
I think he only got 4. Yeah. He only
Yeah,
got 4
yeah.
shots.
Yeah, and you didn't get all the shots in.
Yeah.
Yeah, in order for that to work, you need all 5 shots to hit crew at the exact same time. If that doesn't happen, then crew just gets invincibility frames, and the last shot doesn't hit. And that's what happens in Split's case.
Yeah, so unfortunately we'll have to do the last phase of crew. It's still definitely on pace to be a PB for him by a lot though.
Yeah.
Majora's just coming up to a robot skip now as well.
Split is a bit low on health though.
Oh, okay, there's no lava there.
Yeah, Majora goes for an angle much further to the right. I think this is still fine. Yeah, Split's definitely...
goodness.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, that's just If
This
Crew
is
hits him
terrible.
once now, he's dead. So this is very scary. He has to be very careful now. Like, he could take one more hit from these green guys, but any hit from Crew just kills him.
Yeah, he's just trying to safely kite them all into a group now, I think.
Yeah. It's gonna lose him a bit more time, but as has been a theme for Split, I just really think he wants to be safe and not majorly fill anything. That's
Yeah,
kind of
I
his
mean,
strategy.
He's currently on pace to PV by almost 4 minutes as well, so you definitely want to be safe in that kind of situation.
Yeah, it's funny how different people have different approaches to this, because I would still just go for it.
And yeah, see, Crew's still on 1 HP, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Good shot, Jack. The big
Oh, they're
man
actually
hurt
both on
now,
Crew now.
and the challenger is down for the count.
That actually means that Majora caught up a lot. Like, the gap was a lot bigger first. So I guess
Yeah.
Split lost quite a bit of time on this, like maybe a minute and a
yeah.
half or so.
He had to spend a lot of time playing safe to not die at the end.
Yeah, but still a good means ahead on first PB.
Crew left. I saw him hide something in the
I don't think this is no longer like sub 110 pace though, not anymore.
You might want to come check it out.
This is now like 112 pace, I would say.
We still could see both runners PV in the same race though, which would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we've been saying this though, like Split just has been farming ammo throughout pretty much the whole game. Curious as to why he's doing this as well. I think it's a safety thing though. I think he just really wants to be safe at all points in the game.
Great shot, Dexter.
I will definitely ask him after the race.
You got it.
Doing Meta Bash, it's really not too much to this. It's kind of the same every time.
Majora's going
Locations
for
where-
the Crew skip now. He did manage to get 5 shots, so hopefully it lands. Yeah, that's a nice time save for Majora.
Nice, alright. You love to see it. Yeah, that makes this race a lot closer all of a sudden. I thought Split was kind of running away with it slowly, but this puts Majora right back in it. And I'd be very curious to see what Majora's pace is compared to PB, because Majora doesn't currently run against Splits, but I imagine Majora has to be like 5 minutes after PB right now, right?
I would think so.
Majora has like a 120 over there. Hold on, he has a 120.31.
Yes.
So yeah, he definitely has to be minutes ahead of PB pace right now.
Yeah, I would say about 115 pace for Majora at the moment, so...
Yeah, so both of these runners way on PB pace, and the race itself is very close. Like, you don't often see people both being on medal at that. In fact, I think this is the first time I've seen this on a race, and I've commented a lot of them.
Beat the game, Dexter.
Split just finishing it up. Right, does not hotlock. You love to see it.
You love to see it, yep.
I repeat, the shield wall is down. Sabotage. Core did it. I knew metalheads would be the enemy. Oh no! Metalheads are at the door. They're breaking through. Too many of them.
I love this voice line.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's kind of sad you skip them usually by. Oh wait, that worked. Oh, Split. You've got the magic, man. What was that? How did it?
Oh,
he loaded
no.
in what?
Yeah, he went too close to the door.
Oh yeah, he made the camera go to the door. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the room loading in there is dependent on where the camera is, not where Jack is. As with most things in the game. Which is,
Thankfully,
I think is a really interesting dynamic in Jack and Daxter games, where a lot of the load triggers and stuff depend on camera instead of your location.
oh,
Yeah,
he's
go ahead.
really close to the door again.
Yeah, I think he doesn't really know how to load it in. He just kind of does this. But that is very sketchy.
Let's give him Majora another chance to catch up as well. Like, it's
Yeah,
very close again now.
Yeah, he doesn't get the hover. Has to do the hover from here, does he? Yeah, he knows this. You can back this up by standing on flat ground here. He's not really standing on flat ground. It's really annoying to do this on like the uneven parts. Yeah, that's a good spot. And there's just one convenient hole in the ceiling that you can go through to back this up. I think he's to the left of it, yeah. Like you can see the gap there. He needs to be a bit more back. And you basically need to be standing still. This might work. We'll see.
We've actually got Majora Gargants on the
Yeah.
port right now, so it's going to be very close again.
Yeah, Split does seem to get it. He has to get off the jet board and actually land in the room now, and he manages to. All right. Whereas Majora messed up his first attempt and has to go back out. And Split's now on underport 2. Yeah, this is a very close race after that crew.
Shoot it. Someone else. You do something with those blocks. Did you hear something? Go, go, go!
Looks like Majora's got a
Yep.
pretty good angle.
Yeah, that looks perfect to me. That should make it in. Oh, it's actually pretty far to the right. Does he make
Oh,
it?
it just made it.
does. Oh, yeah, I thought that was right as well, but he barely makes it in.
You gotta
And
make
now we've got a race on our hands. Both of them are on port 2, which is also pretty easy to die on, or lose time here and there.
big, baby. Solve it so you can go home. You figure this out. I'll cover your butt. Great. No time to celebrate.
Right, this is like a much cleaner race than like me versus Recon. And they were both saying before the race that like, oh yeah, you don't know how much like stuff is gonna happen. But this has been a pretty clean race so far, I have to say. Like yes, there's been like quite a few mistakes here and there, but there's like not been a case where someone's just been stuck in something for 5 minutes, you know? That you sometimes see.
Yeah.
It's just people die here once or twice, like. And then you just,
That was very close.
yeah, that was scary. But once again, just makes it work, not actually dying.
Thankfully, he does jump over it the second time. A common mistake is that you just punch into it again thinking that you have iframes, but you don't actually
Yep.
get iframes from the laser.
Yep, I died on my race. Well, not on that, on the first laser. Ooh, Majora using the blue gun here. That's pretty rare.
Thanks for getting the artifacts, guys. It's strange. The time map had a bunch of old
Yeah,
artifacts.
This is very close
wonder-
again.
I wonder if Majora's gonna go for shaft skip. I think he might actually try. Despite statistics suggesting that shaft skip's not really worth going for.
It's a very
that.
big risk, but when-
Only Rubik's and Ouija so far succeeding in it. Out of like all 14 runners. I think like at least 10 of them have tried.
Okay, Split's deciding not to go for it, which is
Yes.
probably what we would expect given his choices to go for safe strats for the rest of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. It's not necessarily that it's not safe or anything, like it is a pretty consistent skip, but there's like a lot of like fairly complicated things about it that if any one of them goes wrong, you just lose a bunch of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And a lot of things that are out of your control as well.
Yeah.
You know, loading times
think-
can vary, the metalheads could shoot you.
Yeah, I think there's also the case that you need to be able to mash pretty quickly for it. Split hasn't like mashed extremely quickly so far. I think that also might play into it. Although I think realistically Split just hasn't learned it because it's not really worth it.
Majora has decided to
Right.
go the safe route as well.
Yes. So yeah, this is really going to come down to the wire. Like a big thing that's still left in the run is like the movement to construction side. It's kind of crazy that like a race on this level might be decided by just movement to con side of all things, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a big deal.
Or even final boss.
Yeah, final boss itself, or just the two hovels going to it. This race is definitely not over yet. Which I think is a cool thing about Jak 2. Like, the last couple of missions are not free.
Split goes for a safety pause just to make sure that the game doesn't crash.
Yep. Yeah, Majora's just like, what, 15, 20 seconds behind? Pretty nothing. gotta sit back up in my chair.
Majora actually going for a restart mission here? Is that for HP, possibly?
Yeah, I imagine that he's on low HP. Just take it safe. Interesting though, like, especially considering he's just a little bit behind. You think that maybe you go for a little bit of risk here.
Yeah, I would expect him to take some risks.
Yeah. Especially with how Majora's been playing compared to Split. But I think he's feeling both the pressure from the race and his PB.
Yeah.
He really does not want to mess this up.
Yeah, both runners are on pace to PB by several minutes each, so...
Are both these runners, I think they're both 0 and 2, right? Not 1 and 1.
Yes, I think so, yep.
We'll double check that. Yeah. Either of them could pick up their first win here. Which is always nice. Yeah, they are both 0 and 2 so far.
The core. Construction site.
This is more of a casual question, but I wonder how Torn actually knows that Core is going to be at the construction site. I wondered about that. It's kind of out of the blue.
The other thing is, I wonder if they actually know where each other are in the race. They're not in the same Discord channel, so...
Yep. Well, most people so far have been tuning into the stream at some points, so they kind of know where the other one is. Not everyone though. That's another good thing to ask them after the race. 'Cause I think, like, if I were in their shoes, I would be concerned about my PB first and the race second, to be honest. Because you don't get at times as good. I think it's kind of the same thing for them, because they realize that if either of them PBs, they're probably ahead. Like, if you're in a vacuum, right, and you PB, you expect to win this race. If you're
yeah, that's true. Very much so.
But I would imagine that they know what's going on. And even if so, it's kind of crazy because they're both playing well for their level.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see Majora go for a hover here or something on the way to construction site.
Yeah, Split just going for the old way where you just go all the way with the Zuma. Just makes it that. So if Majora wants to save some time here, which he will have to do to win this race, he's going to have to pull some fancy footwork.
Leaving city safe zone.
But so far it looks like Majora is also just going all the way with the Zuma. Yeah, I don't imagine he's going to get off. As soon as you're on the Zuma, you tend to stay on the Zuma, you know? It's a lot of the time a big reason why people don't like picking up a Zuma, why it's often faster to go with Jibble Moment, is because it's slow to get on a Zuma. But once you're actually on a Zuma, it's usually just the best to stay on it. So I imagine that, yeah. Like I thought, Majora also just takes all the way around, which keeps the lead equal. Split still with a small lead and goes for this nice little left one. That was the next thing I was going to mention. And just gets it. So it might be these little few things that Split's getting that Majora is not going to be able to catch up on that make the difference. Well, that was a sentence and a half. It made sense though, English.
Yeah, so it may well come down to the nest and the final boss.
Yeah. Yeah, if Split just keeps it clean like he has since the end of Underport, this should be in the bag. But it's definitely very close. Any mistake could end up costing it.
That was a very good, very good backup.
Yeah, okay, yes, that's a very good backup. Many people would have just died there. Yeah, good mental composure from Split. Just realize that you can just keep hovering and fall to the right there.
Some good on the fly thinking. He is going into this fight with half his HP. I wonder if he'll take the death.
Yes, yeah. I think he will. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. It does up to take the death. Yeah, he can afford to lose a couple seconds there. Now, assuming he gets a decent fight, it should be in the back of Split. And this will also definitely be a PV now, assuming he doesn't die here a bunch of times. Oh, goes for the strat. Oh, he has 10 Peacemaker ammo. I guess that's an advantage of stacking ammo all game. You just get to go ham with the
Yeah, coming into
Peacemaker.
core with 10 Peacemaker ammo is
This is gonna be a
unusual.
really good fight off like this.
And he may get to charge up like 5-shot during cores and vulnerable moments.
Yeah, I think he didn't get all the damage now. Both of them are final boss. This is crazy. Never seen that before in the race. But looks like Split's gonna eke out the win. Gonna be coming up on time very soon. Of course, a lot of iframes doing his attacks. And this should be
It's
it.
time for
This last
Split.
little burst. And it is a 1:15:31 to Split.
There's a PV by over 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Majora's coming up on time as well, which will be a PV by about 4 minutes for him as well.
Yeah. Just like one. Yeah, this race was crazy. Congratulations, first of all. And
Yeah.
but now coming up, yeah. I think that's a 1:15:57 for Majora. Just 26 seconds apart of one another. This race was crazy close to the end.
I see that. Goodness gracious.
Were you watching the stream at all?
I watched it. I stopped watching. Well, I took a quick glance right before Protect Samus.
I see. Yeah,
And
this
then I
race
stopped
just,
watching after that.
yeah, like after you kind of messed with Thunderbolt, like you lost a minute there, this race was super close, and it just was like roughly 30 seconds apart the whole time through. It was very cool to watch.
Yeah. Well, we both got PVs out of it, so I don't think that Majora's gonna complain either.
Yeah, that was really impressive. I never expected to see
Can we-
both runners
Can
PV
we
in
get
a race.
Majora? Can we get Majora in here as well?
Yeah, I'll have to ask him to join.
Or we'll find later.
And I can't drag him.
I just built this. After the first one, I mean. It's based on what I remember from before.
Honey, the more you think about it, the more it hurts the head.
I'll take good care of the child. And don't worry. I'll be back in time for the celebration. Farewell.
Yeah, congratulations as well to you.
It's fun.
Yeah, congratulations on the PV.
Okay,
GG, Majora.
I do remember the light.
yeah, this
We
is a great
most certainly
race.
gave him- we most certainly gave him an interesting race there at the end.
Yeah, that was very close.
Yeah.
I think you two both walk away from this happy, right?
We'll be late for the party.
This is the good ending. You both get really nice PVs.
So much work to do.
Yeah, that's what is that, like
Besides,
almost a
it's not
5-minute PV for you,
Jen,
Majora?
As the new governor
Yeah,
of the city,
almost.
ordered the commander of the new Crimson
Gosh,
Guard
and
to
I also
escort me to
died in
official
Protect
functions. Is that
Samus,
understood?
so
Yes, sir.
that's at least another 2
Yes,
minutes
sir.
I can take
We
off.
can start rebuilding
Damn.
the city tomorrow.
I mean, I can easily get a minute off my run because my starting was rough.
I'm dying to see you dance.
Like I was a minute and 10 by the end of Bombbots behind.
Welcome to the Naughty
Yeah, we noticed that Split went for very safe strategies throughout the run, and it seems to have paid off really well.
Big trophy.
I wanted to ask you something, Split. Throughout the run, like a lot of pretty much all the missions you could pick up ammo. You picked up a lot of ammo. Is there any specific reason you do that? Is it just for safety?
It's because so many times in like both of the runs before this, I have died in an important mission that needs ammo, and so I run out of ammo by the end of the mission. And so it's one of those deals where I just have gotten in the habit of farming probably too much ammo because I always run out of ammo by the end of the run for all my guns.
For you, lady. I'm cutting you off.
I guess the nice thing is that you have you had a bunch of Peacemaker armor for core, which is kind of rare.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Like for instance, my first run against Ben, I died in what's it called? In Underport like not 3 times, like 5 times. And so by the end of it, I no longer had any blue ammo to do any of the puzzles with. And so then I didn't have any blue ammo for Defense Stadium.
I knew you were too tough for 'em, big
And
guy.
even the same with what's it called? With sewers. The last my run against Albie, I ran out of ammo for sewers. And so like I was having issues completing sewers because I didn't have the ammo to do it. So that's why I know that I don't need to farm that much ammo. It's just because if I don't, I have so much not anxiety, but I have so much like I need to prep for this because there's a good chance I'm going to fail a mission here coming up.
Yeah, I guess it worked out. 'Cause
Warm milk.
Yeah.
you
I
did
mean,
end up winning the race like by just 26 seconds.
I've got a
Yeah,
feeling
and
we'll
then-
meet Mars someday.
yeah.
He may be closer than you think.
You're the designated driver.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
I am done with adventure.
that was a great
Besides,
race, Majora.
You'll tell us before something happens next
Yeah,
time, right?
that was so fun.
Samos?
Yeah.
Never
That was awesome. And seeing both runners PB in the same race is very exciting.
something, don't you?
I should ask you as well, Majora. Did you know it all? Like that you two were really close throughout the race? Did you watch the stream at all?
Only time.
No, I mean, I had it open, but it wasn't. I hadn't refreshed it since Laffy started hosting it.
Ah,
I see.
Bloffy, or however it's pronounced.
Yeah, well, congrats on both of your PBs. It's a very nice way to end the night.
Yeah, definitely.
Or start the evening for the American one.
It's a good way to end the day for the tournament at least, because
Yeah.
all the races are left for tomorrow at this point.
Gonna be looking forward to those. Speaking of which, this is a good segue into that. Tomorrow we're gonna have races on. Let me just look at the schedule. 11 a.m. EST, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Gonna be having 3 races again, with Piggle versus Dudek, Headstrong versus Bin, and Flair versus DJ respectively. So starting at 11 a.m. EST. Yeah, I'll just put a link of the challenge sheet of the tournament here, in case you want to check out what the standings are so far in the tournament. Yeah, Bin's race is going to be at 1 p.m. EST, the one after that. The 11 a.m. one is Piggle versus Dudek, and then at 1 p.m. it's Headstrong versus Bin, and 3 p.m. it's Flair versus TJ. And I think that's just about it for all of us, unless you two have something to add.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, this is a good
I'm
night for races.
fine.
Like, all 3 of them were interesting in their own ways.
Definitely.
First we had complete scuff, then we just had like a super clean run, and now there's just like 2 really nice PBs.
yeah, thank you everyone for being here and supporting the runners. Congratulations to both the runners on new PVs, and see you tomorrow for some more races, hopefully.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Have a good night.
Yep.
Woohoo.